My name is Ranaivo Rasolofoson. I'm a researcher at Duke University, and today I'm going to talk about my research linking fisheries and early childhood development. About 250 million children are at risk of developmental delays in low and middle income countries. Child developmental delays have lifelong adverse consequences such as reduced economic productivity and increased risk of some chronic health problems. Fisheries can affect child development through various pathways. Fisheries, for example, affect fish consumption, and fish are rich in nutrients that are important to early childhood development, including omega-3 fatty acids, as an example. But fisheries can also provide fishing income that can be invested in activities promoting child development, such as healthcare, nutrition, and early learning and education. There is a wealth of evidence supporting that fish consumption is associated with better child development. But there is little attention given to the fishing income pathway. There is a lot of evidence that income affects child development, but there is no specific evidence about fishing income. Our study was conducted in Fangano Island, a continental island in the Kenyan side of Lake Victoria. I developed two models. The first model describes the effect of fish consumption on early childhood development. I focused on the two most consumed species, namely Nile perch and a sardine-like species called omena in one of the local languages. I looked at three indicators for early childhood development: gross motor development, which captures movement of body parts such as head, arms, and legs, and activities like crawling, walking, running, and jumping; personal social development, which is about personal skills like eating and also social interactions; communication development, which measures language development and the use of word, sounds, or gesture to express feeling or to respond to voice, sound, sight, or touch. The second model looks at the effect of fishing income on early childhood development and the share of that effect that occurred through child nutrition, given that fishing income can be invested in child nutrition, which in turn affects child development. I used a standard indicator for child nutritional status, Height for Age Z-score, or HIZ, to indicate child nutrition. Here, we have the sizes of the effects of fish consumption and fishing income on early childhood development. On the y-axis are child nutritional status indicated by HAZ and the three early childhood development indicators. The x-axis is the effect size or magnitude of effects in standard deviation units. I put them in standard deviation units so that they can be compared. All the results presented here are those that are statistically significant. I did the hypothesis testing with the raw regression coefficients, not with the effect sizes. So I did not present here the effects that are not statistically significant to emphasize that this is not for hypothesis testing, but solely for comparing the effects that are statistically significant. The effect of Nile perch consumption, for example, are not presented here because they are not statistically significant. The sizes of the effects of omena consumption and fishing income are comparable. Omena is an example of small indigenous fish with local importance. However, because it belongs to informal fisheries, it is not accurately accounted for in official records. Some of the benefits from omena will then be missed if we rely solely on official records. On the other hand, Nile perch is an important commercial species, thus contribute to child development through fishing income. Nile perch benefit will be missed if we focus solely on fish consumption because, as I said earlier, the effects of Nile perch consumption on child development are not statistically significant. Nutrient intake from fish consumption has been the primary argument for fisheries' relevance to human nutrition and child development. However, our study demonstrates that fish consumption alone may provide a limited understanding of the effect of fisheries on early childhood development. Fishing income can also make a relevant contribution to early childhood development in fishery-dependent communities. Finally, that fisheries affect early childhood development through different pathways strengthens the evidence that threats to aquatic system are public health threats and therefore investment in aquatic system sustainable management are public health investment. Thank you for your attention.